Hi, it's Micheline with Fit and Healthy for Yourself, and today's topic is electrolytes. Yes, we all heard of them, but we don't really pay a lot of attention to them. However, I recently have really started paying attention to them because when you start eating low carb and high fat, your electrolytes can go out of balance. Basically for this reason that when you don't eat carbs, you don't retain a lot of water. So basically you drink water, but it flushes right out, and therefore most of the electrolytes also get flushed out very easily. And that's why when you eat low carb, you really got to make sure your electrolytes are in balance. And sometimes that means, eating certain foods. It also might mean you have to supplement. But what are actually electrolytes? Well, electrolytes are nutrients or chemicals that are in our body and that our body needs for a ton of different functions. So there are actually 4 electrolytes you can have to think about. And they're really easy to get. So it is number 1, potassium. Number 2, magnesium. Number 3, sodium. And number 4 is calcium. It's only those things, and we all know them, and we all kind of think we know where you can get them from. So, but what will actually an electrolyte imbalance look like? Your body really likes to keep balance, and when something goes out of whack, it will tell you immediately. Their functions for an electrolyte imbalance are very easily recognizable. Your heartbeat can change. That usually means you have too much calcium or too much potassium in you. You have digestive issues. That can go either way. If you're too high on something or if you're too low on something, it could cause constipation or diarrhea. Either one. And you immediately know you're out of whack. I can tell you too much magnesium will cause diarrhea. Not enough will cause constipation. So keep it balanced. Bone pain. Bone pain is no fun. And kidney stones, no fun. That's usually due to high calcium. That's why, even though calcium, potassium, all this, we need those, too much of a good thing is also not good. That's why you always need to keep a balance. Confusion, dizziness, irritability. That is definitely a sign of too much sodium. And that could actually become very dangerous. You can also tell when you have too much sodium because you start blowing up everywhere because you retain so much freaking water. So it's usually also a sign of high sodium. Anxiety. Yes, that's can just be very easily cured with some electrolytes. Not in all cases, but in some cases, that's what it means. Insomnia. Yes, if you don't have enough magnesium, you don't sleep well, or not at all. So, insomnia. Muscle spasms. Muscle spasm, we all know pretty much. I think that's pretty much common knowledge that that is due to low calcium, low potassium. That's why usually a lot of people who work out always eat a banana because it's high in potassium. Actually, avocados are higher, but so that's why potassium is, we need it for the muscles. Tiredness. Yes, when you have a lot of fatigue, that's usually also due to an electrolyte imbalance because it usually also means we're dehydrated. Which then also means, we didn't drink enough water, so therefore, nothing else is there. So, what really could do, what is each one really responsible for? So, calcium. We all know calcium is for strong bones and strong teeth. But calcium also helps in muscle contraction, blood clotting, cell division. So you kind of need that for a couple of things. But again, too much of it is not a good thing either. Potassium, interestingly, besides helping with muscle functions, it also regulates your heart contractions. the way your heart beats, and it keeps your blood pressure stable. So, but again, too much of it will send your blood pressure skyward. So, keep it balanced. Sodium, we're all always afraid of having too much salt. So sometimes we decide to just skip it at all. But that's not really good either, because sodium actually maintains a fluid balance in our body. And the muscles also need it for contracting. But it also keeps, and it's interesting because sodium, in order for you to have sodium, it kind of requires insulin. So, but like when you eat low carb, your insulin levels are kept low, and therefore you flush out your sodium a lot quicker. So that's why when you eat low carb, you really need to supplement with salt, a lot of salt. And yeah, that sometimes doesn't taste good, but that's what it is. So that's why I just use salted butter on everything. So I get my salt that way. Magnesium. Magnesium is also good for the muscle contraction. It helps with it keeps your heart rhythm stable. Again, nerve function. Pretty much all of them also have some kind of task in nerve functioning or nerve signaling. It reduces anxiety. It helps digestion if you keep it balanced. And it keeps a stable protein fluid balance, which is interesting. So I guess if your magnesium goes out of whack, so does your protein fluid balance, and then you might not be able to really get all the benefits from the water and the protein. So that's why electrolytes really is an important thing that you should think about. That's why a lot of athletes, when they do long distance or long endurance runs or something, that's why they always have like Gatorade and all that with them, because it replenishes the electrolytes. Because when we sweat, we flush them all out. So you need to replenish all of that. So that's why when you do it, so please keep in mind when you go on low carb, supplement with electrolytes. It's not an option. It is absolutely mandatory, because otherwise you're just going to completely feel out of whack and you're not going to feel happy. So there are easy supplementations. Actually, I use Ultima electrolyte powder. Has no calories, has no sugar. It's just really straight electrolytes, and I add that in the morning to my water. Gives it a nice little orangey flavor, and I'm good for the day. So so keep that in mind.